as I retire, I reflect back on my journey as a pastor and as a clergy person, that I've had the opportunity to serve in many different locations, many different churches, and each one's been its unique experience, and it's been a joy, and I've learned a lot and grown a lot. And I've also had some really good mentors along the way, and I want to thank them. And teachers have meant a lot to me, helped me grow in myself and as a pastor, and how to deal with situations that may be difficult. I'm retiring, and I've got one son that's going to finish school next year, and two that are finishing this year, so it's going to feel odd. I have family I haven't seen in a while that I really need to go check on, and I'm going to do that. And after that, I really can't say other than rest and relax some that I really need.
I want to say thank you, especially to God that has been with me throughout my life, especially during the formative years when I was in the military the first time and my trip to Vietnam. He was always faithful in there, and I thank him for that. I thank him for the opportunity to be called into ministry and to serve him for the last 40 years as ordained minister. And he was with me through the schools with small churches, and then back into the military, into the Army as a chaplain for another 16 years. And he has constantly been before me and led my steps that I've taken. Second, I'd like to thank my family for all their support and always being there. For my wife and children as they move, they haven't complained very much, but that's okay. We have moved a lot and we've been blessed. And also then we'll thank the conference for their support, for the Board of Ordained Ministers for their giving me the opportunity to serve as a other denomination minister. And I thank those that have been the elders and others that have supported me through this time. God bless. And we know that you'll walk with us always through our times of change.
Hi, I'm Ken Donovan. In summer of 1972, I was working late and I heard God say to me, "I want you to be my minister." After doing some Moses-like complaining, I finally surrendered when God promised that at my points of weakness, He would be my strength. And with that, we began ministry together. Now, many times I've broken the promise, the covenant, but God has always been faithful to keep the covenant. It's been my blessing to be pastor of some churches where God has done some wonderful things, which speaks to the magnitude of my weakness, I'm sure. But I'm thankful to the bishops for the appointments, to the churches who have worked with me and labored with me to do the work of Christ in the church, and to my brothers and sisters in the conference who have shared and encouraged our life journey together. Thank you.
What am I going to do in retirement? That's a question that was on my mind a lot. And suddenly last night, I don't know whether it was a dream or a trance, but suddenly I had this vision of a sheet coming down out of heaven. And I couldn't tell what was in the sheet, but when it came low enough, I discovered that it was a Harley Davidson. And then the Lord said, "Gary, rise, purchase, ride." And I said, "Lord, I've never done anything so foolish in all my life." And He said, "You shall not call it foolish what I call fun." I said, okay. So that's the vision. I haven't shared it with my wife yet, Donna, or any of the family, and we'll see where that goes. One of the things that comes back to me over and over in my life is something that was illustrated for me in It's a Wonderful Life. You know, James Stewart and George Bailey, and what he discovered at the end of that movie was that he was a very rich man. And that which he had been searching for, all of his life had really been the treasure of his life all through his life. And I think that that's where I am with retirement. The things that I'm going to really do and enjoy in retirement are, the blessings that God's already given me. A wife that loves me, a wonderful family, a couple of daughters that I just love watching as they mother our 5 grandchildren. We struck gold with our son-in-laws too. I imagine at some point I will want to stick my toe back in the water in some form of ministry. And some things have happened recently that have kind of confirmed that. My ministry's always been centered in relationships, and wherever God and people come together and I get to be a part of that, I'm in heaven.
Retirement. It's a season that comes to all of us if we live long enough. However, it's just a word. It's not a season to stop, but a season merely to change gears and go forward. When I said yes to God's call on my life, I made a lifetime commitment to engage in ministry all of my days. And it's my intent to approach this new season as simply a change in status and to continue in ministry, whatever form that may take, for as long as God gives me the strength and ability to do that. And perhaps get in a little golf and some travel if time permits. I want to say to each of you that are just starting in this journey and those that are continuing on, it's been worth every step. There is nothing more thrilling than to introduce someone to Jesus Christ and then watch and help them grow in their faith. I wish each of you the joy that comes from walking with Christ in ministry. May God bless you with abundance and give you the peace and grace that you need for the rough times that are sure to come. God is faithful to us if we are faithful to Him. That's been true in my life, and I trust that it will be in yours.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Hiller, and I would just like to say, going into my retirement, I plan on traveling and spending lots of time with my grandbabies. And also, I rescue small dogs off the street. So far, I have rescued 6, and I have made sure I have given them a good home, mine.
First, I would like to give honor to God, who is the head of my life. Me being in the position I'm currently in, then I would like to thank the United Methodist Church and the North Alabama Conference for allowing me to be here. Thirdly, I would like to thank the Hopewell United Methodist Church and all its members, and the community also for allowing me to come into their community and be their spiritual leader. And then last but not least, I would like to thank my wife, who has always been supportive, and my granddaughter, Alexia, who always goes to church with us. It's been a fantastic journey for the past 7.5 years. However, retirement does not mean retirement. I am just retiring as a pastor, but I will continue on as a supply pastor. So I just want to once again thank the United Methodist Conference for all the support that they have given me. And again, thank the people at Hopewell United Methodist Church.
I'm Mark Paris. I started as a student pastor while I was in college, and I have loved the ministry all of these years. Maybe some days more than others, but I've loved it through the years. The joy of leading people to faith in Christ and helping people to grow in their faith in Christ has just been a wonderful experience for us in ministry. And I look forward now to renewing friendships with people through the years. We have so many friends from different churches, from the very first to the last. And I'll be continuing as retired supply pastor.
I'm Judy Poole, a deaconess, which is lay mission personnel called to love, justice, and service. Thank you, North Alabama, for 42 years of ministry together. As a deaconess, my appointment to the McCoy Adult Daycare Center has been for 38 of those years. What a joyful experience to work with this ministry from its birth to the thriving, vital ministry it is today. I'm grateful to North Alabama congregations and United Methodist Women for your faithful support of the ministry over the years. As I hand the reins to our new Executive Director, Lauren Goodman, I pray you will continue to support this critical ministry for our caregivers, fragile and frail, and veterans. As my ministry path changes, I look forward to what God has in store next.
As I reflect over my years in ministry, it's been a blessing to spend 20 years in service in the United Methodist Church. First 7 years I served in the Huntsville district as I was in seminary with my family, and I was able to raise our children there through high school, and then moved on to the Jasper district area and served in Walker County, Cordova, and Williams Chapel. And what a blessing to serve during that time when the tornadoes come through in April of 2011, and to be there as we recovered from that terrible storm and rebuilt the church, spending 9 years there, and then returning back home to my home church, Morgan United Methodist. What a blessing to be able to serve my home family there. And in this time of my life, it's a time where I'm looking forward to spending with my grandchildren and my wife, and continuing to see which way the Lord might lead me to serve in the future. It's been a true blessing.